Hey everybody, Kyle here. If you've been watching my videos over the time, you probably figured out that I am an artist. And part of being an artist means you get to know a lot of other artists. And let me tell you, they can be an interesting bunch. You know, there's all sorts of personality types, and they're all kind of like the, square peg, round hole kind of thing. Just a weird fit. Now, another thing is that this art world is a lot smaller than outsiders or art students might realize. Once you've been in it for a few years, you get to know, not everybody, but you get to know enough people that the whole world is pretty much just 1 degree of separation away from you. I might not know this artist, but I know several people who know them, so it's a much smaller group than you think. The current social trend seems to be once you've met somebody once at a party or an event, you're kind of socially obligated to friend them on Facebook and start like a deeper texty relationship type thing with that person. It's kind of a weird social trend right now. But I actually think this is really interesting because most artists also will have a page along with their profile, and the page is a much more professional thing. Anyway, so these 3 things, them as a person, them as a profile, and them as a page, give you a very interesting way of seeing a person, because you can see them as a human being that you know in meat space. And then there's the profile, which is it's a way to see how someone wants to be perceived. And then there's the professional page, which is usually, the profile taken several degrees further. So it's an interesting balance between of the group. A lot of people don't seem to have any kind of filter whatsoever, and they'll post really personal or really agitated. You can tell they're not in their regular, measured, calm state of mind. They're in some sort of emotional turmoil, and they're posting all this content up, and sometimes it can be a bit too much, or it can be a bit off-putting. So discussions where one person is pouring their heart and their soul into their Facebook page is often met with people criticizing and saying, hey, this is bad, you shouldn't be saying this, this could affect your collectors and your clients and your gallery rep and your dealer, and it could start some turmoil. You don't want to go there. And then it starts into big arguments, and the actual point of the emotional issue gets lost entirely. But one thing I've started to think about lately is, to me, so much of the world seems to be getting very mechanized and systematized. And to me, that's what I love about art, is it still has that human touch and everything. It's not junk done over and over and over and over again in a factory. It's stuff done with care and intention, and it's a one-off, one-of-a-kind, made by hand. And it's that honesty and that openness and that heart that, to me, makes art have that value. So why are we criticizing these artists who are being that honest and personal and deep on their page and letting us into their soul? To me, criticizing them for that is just, I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is there's no easy answer to how you're presenting yourself, but you should always be mindful that there are far more lurkers out there than there are contributors. So while you might only see 5 or 10 people leaving comments, chances are many, many more than that are reading. And whatever you get posted online gets saved, gets archived. Once you post it, consider it public, and just be mindful. How do you want to present yourself to the public? If you want to keep that detached professionalism, then comments like that can really harm that image. But if you want to be seen as a vulnerable human being, then by all means go at it. So just be very aware of what you're putting out there. If you're trying to project a certain image, just make sure everything you're putting out there reinforces rather than challenges that image.